A hunter we will call by the name of Bob told the Beacon Journal that he saw the animal while traveling on State Route 59 into Kent, and he knew it to be a fisher. He claimed to have knowledge of Fisher's advances in Ohio, since it being the weekend. He called the Portage County wildlife officer and left a message. He then reported the roadkill to the Ohio Highway Patrol before heading out. When the wildlife officer called him back a few minutes later, Bob went back to the animal and discovered to Kent State students attempting to gather it for academic purposes because they thought it was also a fisher, according to Bob. The wildlife officer then showed up and concurred that it looked to be a fisher, and gathered it for examination by ODNR biologists. From the Pennsylvania border, an animal that has been absent from Ohio for almost 200 years is resurfacing and moving westward. A species related to river otters and weasels, thought to be a fisher, was found on Sunday near Kent as roadkill. It was found at the crossroads of State Route 59 and State Route 261 in Franklin Township, close to Kent State University. It may be the furthest westward one has been seen in the state if verified by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. Roadkill fishers discovered in Ohio are gathered by the ODNR Division of Wildlife in order to assess genetics and establish age. The Division of Wildlife's Lori Brown, a wildlife research technician, reports that the fisher discovered in Kent will be sent to Columbus for exam. There, the wildlife biologist will assess the animal's overall health, potentially analyze the contents of its stomach to learn more about its food, and, if the animal is female, determine whether it is breeding or pregnant. According to Farm and Dairy, fishers vanished from Ohio by the middle of the 1800s as a result of habitat destruction and hunting that drove them almost extinct. According to ODNR, there have been 40 verified sightings of fishers since then in 9 counties in northeast Ohio: Ashtabula, Columbiana, Geauga, Trumbull, Lake, Jefferson, Harrison, and more. Of those, 2/3 of the 26 sightings have occurred in the previous 3 years. They are inherently colonizing Ohio and are migrating westward from established populations in Pennsylvania. I have no doubt we have fishers in and around Portage County, Brown stated. She stated that Trumbull and Ashtabula County account for a small portion of the reported fishers incidents in Ohio. There were complaints from Geauga County in the previous year. According to Brown, the report from Kent is most likely the furthest west they have ever had. The fact that a fisher discovered in Ashtabula in 2023 as roadkill was pregnant was recently confirmed by the ODNR, indicating that the animals were spreading throughout the state. When an animal that was once here returns, begins to reproduce, and thrives, Brown said it says a lot. I think it's fantastic that there are more and more reports of them being seen in Ohio, she remarked. According to Brown, reintroduction programs for fishers were carried out in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, and the population is beginning to spread to Ohio. Due to the program's great success, fisher trapping seasons are currently offered in both states. According to Britannica, fishers belong to the mustelid family Mustelidae, which also contains roughly 55 species of badgers, martins, otters, ferrets, and polecats. The U.S. Forestry Service claims that they are frequently mistaken for their cousin, the mink. However, minks are smaller, with a head-to-tail length of 12 to 16 inches and a weight of 1 to 2.25 pounds. They have a shorter, less bushy tail and a little white patch on their chin, throat, and/or chest.